Sorry about that. I actually ran out of batteries for my camera and just had to replace them. But as I was stating, when you go through a roll, there's a few purposes for doing it. One of the things that you can do is when you go through a roll, you can sort of go upside down and have a little check, and then you can crane your neck back and see if anybody's following you. Sometimes enemy fighters like to sort of sneak up on you like that. I'm still at 75% power for those of you who are paying attention. We're doing about 400 nautical miles out to sea. I'm going to turn around and see what's our altitude. Altitude's about 26,000. This is an interesting piece of cloud. One time when I was flying out in the coast in Vancouver, I managed to convince my flight instructor, who I had actually gone through air cadets with, to do some cloud busting. And what we did was we looked for small clouds and we would fly through them and bust them up. For those of you who have seen the movie The Fisher King, you might enjoy that. That little joke, not much of a joke, but when you do it, it's a blast actually, because you kind of go flying along, and then poof, all of a sudden everything's white, and then poof, all of a sudden everything's in view. And anyways, I'm just losing some altitude now. I'm going to cut the power back down to 50%. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to roll over upside down, and I'm going to pull back. And what that's going to do is it's going to cause me to lose a lot of altitude, and it's also going to cause me to reverse direction 180 degrees. This comes in handy every now and then. You have to constantly be thinking about your direction, altitude, speed, everything. You really have to keep things on the ball when you're flying. Okay, here we go. I'm going to roll over to the right. I just generally like rolling over to the right because I'm right-handed, but the fact is a good pilot should be able to roll in either direction. What the hell, I'll roll over to the left. Here we go. Roll over to the left, nice and controlled, and then pull back. And it's going to be fairly easy because since you're heading downwards, you're going to be gaining speed. And that speed is going to benefit you when you come full circle all the way up. So now, I've lost in total about 10,000 feet, and I'm now faced in the other direction. I'm going to do that once again. A little faster this time, a little less control. See how much altitude I actually lose this time. Now, as I'm doing this, you can notice those bars going by. Those bars are there to tell me what degree I am at in relation to
altitude. Altitude.
Yeah, altitude is fine, you stupid. Those bars that go by, they're going to tell me what degree I'm at. Right now I'm heading downwards at about 10 degrees and going through 10,000 feet. I'm keeping my eyes out for the landing field, and so what I'm going to do, speed is at about 530 knots and gaining. So we're not going to, I'm back up to full speed. We're not going to take too long to get back to the area where we were initially flying. I think I actually see what looks like an airfield over to the left a bit, so I'm just going to peel off over here. There's a city. I'm going to want to keep, I don't want to waste time, so I'm at full power, and I'm going to want to keep heading downwards. So I'm really going to have to watch my airspeed. I was just reading some interesting things. For those of you who have a Mac, this Falcon 4.0 is quite a download. It takes you through, I'm going to lower my speed now. There is air brakes. I'm just wondering. I'm just going to hit Control A to see what happens to the air brakes there. Now my speed isn't changing, so I'm assuming that's not the right thing to do. Just for the hell of it, I'm gonna cut my power completely. I'm seeing something different off to the right here. I'm seeing I'm seeing a strip with an interrupted pattern. I've got it in my focus now. And sometimes when you see that interrupted pattern, it means that's going to be your runway. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down real low, and I'm going to buzz it. And you're going to hear that lady going altitude, altitude, and I'm going to be going attitude, attitude. But since she's a computer, it's not going to do me much good. No, that's just a bunch of barns or whatever. Probably some kind of CIA depot. Maybe I'll drop some bombs on it. Damn, I didn't bring any bombs. Oh well. Pardon this snotty sounding tone of voice. Got a bit of a cold right now. That's something you shouldn't do when you're flying. You should not fly with a cold, because you can build up pressure in your sinuses, and with the intense pressures you go under as a fighter pilot, you can sort of damage yourself while you're flying. I've known pilots who do it anyways, but just one of those cautions that you don't know. Another interesting thing I learned at one point was that you're not supposed to go scuba diving within 24 hours of having gone over, I don't know, like 10,000 or 30,000 feet or something like that, because once again you've got intense forces at play. And yeah, that was a nice little view of the city. I'm going to go down nice and low and have a good look. This could be completely the wrong city for me to be doing this, but always good to buzz a tower. A long time ago I had a computer with Microsoft Flight Simulator 4.0. Nothing to do with fighting Falcon 4.0 I've got now. And I was actually able to take out a Cessna and slow it down to the point where I could land right on top of one of those little buildings there. Kind of fun. But really, you know, when you fly something, it's quite exhilarating. And the funny thing is what I find probably the most exhilarating is when I'm coming in for a landing. I have no idea why. But when everything looks right, and your landing area is coming into view in the proper point in time, and you're coming down and everything looks good, and you're about to safely end another excursion up into the higher regions, it just, I don't know, floats my boat, whatever you want to call it. Pretty exciting. So that was the town. I'm just keeping an eye out for the runway. We had, last time I was out here, there were dual runways. I think that's that stupid building again that I wanted to bomb. Now, I guess I've got lots of time. No point in going back to Earth too soon, but it would be nice to land this thing now that I actually know sort of how to. My main problem is that I'm running out of power in my camera. The batteries, and the other problem